Hello friends, today we are going to see an overview of IBM Business Process Manager, that is IBM BPM. First we will see what is BPM. BPM is a platform where users can design, develop and implement business process at the same time. Nowadays companies often seek ways to improve organizations to increase profit with lower cost and efficient resources. To keep up with the climate of change in business, companies often rely on business process management tool. Business process management goal is efficient business process with high visibility. It is a system which provides the management of people to people, system to system or people to system interactions. There are different BPM tools available in market such as IBM, Pega, Appian, Oracle. IBM plays a major key role among them. Now we will see what is the history of IBM BPM. 12 years back, in 2005, initially IBM had a BPM tool in market called as WPS, WebSphere Process Server. WPS was based on service-oriented architecture framework. It had strong integration capabilities with external systems. But though WPS was the preceding business management product from IBM, WPS did not capture market 100%. WPS was arguably the most powerful SOA engine in the market, but the learning of the WPS was highly technical. So at the same time, competitors were focusing much closer on business user and not as deep on the technology. Business users could not sit with the development tooling, a product called as a WebSphere integration developer, and capture their business processes. At the same time, a third-party company called Lombardi had a product called Teamwork, which was a tough competitor of WPS. In 2010, IBM acquired Lombardi, and the product previously known as WLE, that was WebSphere Lombardi Edition. In December 2010, WLE hit the street. However, it didn't take anyone long to realize that IBM had two BPM products in market. That was WPN and another one was WLE. In 2011, IBM released one product called as IBPM, IBM Business Process Manager, a single product that brings together all features and functions from both WPS and WLE in one environment. Now we will see the architecture of IBM BPM. You can see the central part as a process center, which provides a central development environment and repository for multiple users working in process center. Then process center contains process center server and performance data warehouse. Process center server allows you to build and run the process application. Also it allows to store the performance data to generate the reports. Process center also has the interfaces with the process portal, performance admin console, process admin console and process designer. Now we will see what each interface does. Process portal is an interface which provides the end user and or process participants to perform assigned tasks, view the history of tasks and see the performance of their processes and teams. The next interface is Performance Admin Console, which enables administrators to configure and maintain the performance data warehouse in any runtime environment. The next is Process Admin Console interface, which provides an interface that enables the administrator to configure and maintain the Lombardi or BPM process server in any configured runtime environment such as test or production environment. Then the last interface is a process designer interface, which enables the process authors to model, implement and inspect the business process. Now we will see the life cycle of BPM. BPM has 4 phases such as design, modeling, execution and optimization. We will see what is the goal of each phase. First one is a design phase. Design phase basically captures the requirements, then the process prioritization, process discovery, and process analysis is done in design phase. Then the next phase is a modeling phase. Modeling phase basically creates a process model, then process adjustment and process simulations done in modeling phase. Third step is execution step, where process implementation of process model is done here in this phase, and process application is deployed and monitored. And the fourth phase is optimization phase, where users can analyze and evaluate the performance, where uh, they are meeting to the business goals or not. Once this BPM has gone through this life cycle, if any external condition change, the current business process is not optimal. In that case, BPM iterates again through this life cycle. This iteration allows the effective management of the business process. So what is business process? Business process is a set of activities that takes specific input and converts them into specific output in defined and predictable fashion. A process modeling captures the ordered sequence of business process or activities and the responsible roles that are conducting the activities. Now you can see the modeling types. There are three basic modelings available: is analytical modeling, descriptive modeling, and executable modeling. So what is each modeling does? First one is a analytical modeling. Analytical modeling is used to analyze and improve the process more using the this is based on the descriptive modeling. Descriptive modeling is a very high level modeling which describes the initial development of it, and this analytical modeling analyzes more the business model, and it describes more the functional requirement. Then the third one is a executable modeling. Executable modeling is basically to implement a process model, and this model is have a detailed functional requirement and to implement the business process. Now we will see what is a process model. Process model is basically a graphical representation or a diagram of business process that is easily understood and easily communicated. It basically follows a BPMN standard, that is Business Process Modeling Notations. Now we will see what are the different project development phases in BPM. BPM goes through definition, development, and test phase as just like any traditional project development approach, but it is slightly different in BPM, as when in the definition phase, when the process discovery and define happens. After that, processes are partially implemented and again refined. We will see how in detail how these processes are developed. First one is a definition phase, where discover and define the process, analyze the process improvements, and model the process and measuring the criteria of the process. These operations are done. Then in the development phase, the process is application is prepared for deployment using the iterative development with 3 or more playbacks. And the third phase is the test phase, where the process is validated, process application performance is validated, and with the different set of users that are involved during the development of phase processes. Now we will see the users involved here during the development of the phases. Then in the design initial process model is the first phase, where business analysts and process participants are involved. So basically, business analyst job is to collect the input from the process participant, create initial process model, refine initial process model, define data model, and run simulations and refining the process data model. Then the next set of users here is in the next step is a partially implementing the process is developers role. Here they coordinate with the BPM analyst to understand the steps in the process model and research the options for implementing. Then they create the end user interfaces as well as the integrations with the external system and create the data variables to support the data model. Developers also participate in iterative sessions such as playback and help to improve the business process. Then the next set of users and the next activity is to demo the process where developers and analysts are involved again. And then after the process is fully implemented, then administrators are involved in the next test phase. The job of administrator is to plan the installations necessary servers, then build installation services, deployment service when the process applications are ready to move from one environment to another, such as from development to test environment or production environment. Then the next phase is the install and process application phase, which is also which is done by the administrators and developers. And the last is to monitor and analyze the process performance via scoreboard or the custom reports, where BPM analysts and project managers are involved. So basically, the role of project manager is to coordinate with BPM analysts and identify the um, business data to track for reporting purpose. Then they coordinate with BPM analysts to improve the business process. So these are the different phases of the project development in BPM. Now we will see how we can create the business process in the BPM. Once you log into a process designer, you can see the console, which is called as a process center console. Process center console basically provides this is a central repository. This basically provides a control to create the applications, to delete the applications, or to create the snapshot. It is a central environment which contains process server as well as performance data warehouse, as we discussed earlier. Now, process center consoles also has toolkits options available, which are the reusable set of the processes which can be used in different processes. Then process apps also has a snapshot. We will discuss this once we create the business process. Now this option showing in the left hand side is used to go to designer. Once we click on this, it will show us the designer view of the process, where you can design the business process. So basically, what is business process? Business process is nothing but a set of the logical unit of the activities and processes which can be reused in this process center. Now, at the right hand side, you can see the library items which are used to create the business process diagram. Then the last option you will see at the bottom is the revision history. You can see the history of this business process application, whatever the task or whatever the process parts are changed, you can see here in the history. At the top, you will see the three options. Once you first one is a designer option, then the second one is an inspector, and third is a optimizer. So what each option does? First, designer option is used to design the processes. This is basically has the main canvas where you can create your business processes. Then the second option is the inspector option, where you can test the instances of the processes which you create in the designer. In inspector, whenever you create any process, the tasks are generated for that processes, and those tasks you can debug or troubleshoot those instances using the inspector options. And the third option is a optimizer option. Optimizer option is basically used to analyze and simulate the process so that the performance of the process is increased. Now we will see how we can create our application using the process center console. Now we will go to this. This option is used to go to back to Process Center console. Once you click on this, it will show you the Process Center console. Here at the left hand side, there is an option called as a Create New Process App. Just click on it and give my process app. And here the acronym you can give its acronym is a unique name that uniquely identify the processes. Okay, just click on create. It will show you the process application that is created on the top. Now you can go to the designer using this open in designer option as well as this go to designer option. I'm clicking on the open in designer option. Once you click on open in designer, the designer view will be displayed as we see earlier. Now you can create a new business process diagram. Here, once I click on the new business process diagram, I am creating. Once you click on the new business process diagram, it will show you the main canvas shows the two lanes. So basically what is lane? Lanes is nothing but a department in any organization. For example, let's say a call center department contains all the call center related activities in that uh, department. So you can create one lane here and design the activities in that particular lane. So once any BPD is created, you can see the two lanes are by default created. First one is the system lane and second one is a participant lane. System lane is basically used to create the system related activities like integration with the external system or the message events coming from the external system in the BPM. You can design here in the system lane. And the participant lane is the lane which can be used to design the human uh, services, like where the human interaction is involved. Now at the left hand side, the palette shows you some BPMN construct that is used to create the BPD. So first we will see one by one. First one is the selection tool that is used to select any component. Once you design a BPD, you can select these two options, start and end. These are by default created once you create any BPD. That is the start point and end point of your business process diagram. These are the start event and end event are also start event and end event that is called in BPM. Then the next one is the selection tool, sequence tool. Sequence tool is basically used to connect the process components. Now we will see it once we drag this component. This component is known as the activity component. Activity is nothing but some logical unit of work that is done in the that is carried out in BPD. Suppose if we want to connect it with the activity with this start and end event, we can use this sequence line and connect it. Then the next activity is milestone. Milestone actually illustrates the development of the processes phases. So you can add the different milestones here to showcase the phases of your process development. Then the next one is the gateway. Gateways are basically used to either convergence or divergence of the business process sequence lines. Uh, Here, gateways are sometimes condition based or sometimes you can just create it for the branching of the process. Then the next one is a start event as we discussed earlier, and the last one is, the next is the intermediate event. Intermediate event is basically the event whenever the event occurs between from the start to end event, such as a message event or some timer event that or some external event from some external system come in the between when the process is executing. This intermediate message event is used. The last one, which as we discussed earlier, it is the end event. So, now to implement these processes, we have to create the services in designer. So what is a service? Service is basically a logic program. We can say whenever any activity is created, we have to implement it using some services. Now we have dragged one activity, and suppose we want to run this activity, we'll save it, and at the left hand side we have this run option available. Just click on the run option. It will allow you to go to the inspector view. Now you are in the inspector view. You can see the new task is created and the token is also shown at the as a red icon, and the control is on the first untitled activity. Now if you click on this task and click on the run button, run the selected task, it will allow you to choose the set of the users which are available in the system, as this task is assigned to the all users. Once you click on the run option, the control goes to a browser and which renders a HTML page. Now this is a system generated HTML page in BPM. You can develop your own customized HTML page or using this controls available here in human services in BPM. You just click on the OK button. Once you click on OK, you will see the task is closed and the instance which is created is shown as a completed. In this way, you can create and test the business processes application. In next session, we will see how we can create the services and implement the activities in business process. Thank you.